Riel Casemiro got a win over Tom Mizokoshi. And yes, loads of his fans are saying, oh, give him Inoue. He's going to stand in front of Inoue and do him some real damage. That's not the fight that should happen next. And look, I know people saying, oh, Kameda was running against him when they fought. Kameda won a unanimous decision. Didn't engage one bit with him though. Let's be real. He didn't want any part of standing in front of him at all. But again, he did box the right fight though. Like he had to do that to win, and he won. So it is what it is. He was a convincing unanimous decision winner. Casemiro was meant to fight Inoue. Obviously, that didn't end up happening because of everything that was going on in the world. But look, people were then calling for him to fight, but it just didn't end up happening. There were results which, some now, which weren't ending up really going Casemiro's way. He was a bit inactive here and there, and things just weren't happening. So, yes. What happens now, though? I think that we need to see Casemiro fight Junto Nakatani. I think that's the fight that makes sense next. Nakatani struggled to Sebastian Hernandez on the inside. Sebastian Hernandez didn't stop coming, kept on coming. He definitely doesn't hit as hard as what Casemiro does. So Casemiro could cause Nakatani some real trouble. Casemiro and Inoue, that's not a fight that should happen. It shouldn't happen. Inoue, it's easy for Inoue. Star-wise, Casemiro is easy for Inoue to deal with and box around easily. And I feel like Inoue would stand his ground in the pocket with him at times and be able to get the better of Casemiro. Casemiro is way too one-dimensional for someone like Naoya Inoue. But a fight with Junto Nakatani, actually now, looking at how it was yesterday, could be very interesting stylistically because Junto really struggled to Hernandez, and I feel like Casemiro is quite much better than what Sebastian Hernandez is. So I think it is very winnable for John Riel Casemiro to beat Junto Nakatani. It's very winnable for him. It's also losable for him. Nakatani can definitely win. But I feel like that's the route that Casemiro goes down. Then if he wins that against Junto Nakatani, that's when you start talking about a possible fight with Naoya Inoue. I don't think Naoya Inoue and Nakatani will happen next. I reckon Inoue and Bam happens next. That already, you've seen reports on it saying, that fight is in talks. And Inoue basically said he wants the Bam Rodriguez fight after that win against Picasso. So that makes things very interesting now. Inoue Bam, Nakatani versus Casemiro. Casemiro needs a big fight now. He needs another big fight. That's what needs to happen. That is what needs to happen now. He needs a big fight, and I think the Nakatani fight is perfect because, that's if the rematch with Hernandez doesn't happen for Nakatani. But again, John Riel Casemiro has a good fan base. Nakatani has a good fan base. Make that fight happen because I feel like it could be a very big fight if it is to happen. They do it in Japan. All good. It's a good, exciting, and intriguing fight. Someone, in my opinion, will get stopped in that. Definitely. Nakatani could finish Casemiro. Casemiro could walk onto something because he is one-dimensional quite a bit with how he does like to fight with style. But again, Casemiro is very effective. Mixes it up very well, body to head. Level changes. He's very unpredictable with. And again, hits hard. Both guys hit bloody hard. So there will be a knockout in a fight with Nakatani and Casemiro. Without a shadow of a doubt, they will be. But Inoue is not the way to go for Casemiro. Not the way to go for him at all. I really don't think that should happen because it won't end well. Then that hype is down. But if Casemiro can get a win over Nakatani, that is huge for his career. And in my opinion, it is also very possible, especially what we saw with Nakatani versus Hernandez. It is possible. They can get that done like for May time, in my opinion. I reckon that could even be a good undercard fight for Inoue versus Bam. That's what they could do. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. I probably won't. But how realistic is a fight with Nakatani and John Riel Casemiro? How realistic is it? I feel like fans need to push for it. Fans need to push for it because it is a very intriguing, could be a very good fight. Casemiro will cause Nakatani much more problems than what Hernandez did. So Nakatani will really have to sort things out, in my opinion, for that fight. But again, it was a fight for Nakatani to get settled at super bantamweight. He's had that fight now. Let's see what happens in his second fight at super bantamweight. Because the second fight in a weight division is usually very different and, very different. And to the first one, let's be real, it is. I was going to say another word, very different as something, but no, it's very different to the first one. So, again, that is something that will make things interesting. Nakatani's got the youth on his side a lot more. Casemiro is getting older. Whether he's in his prime or not now, probably not. But anyway, I still give him a good chance against Nakatani. But Nakatani, I reckon he will be moving more freely. But can he get Casemiro's respect with his power? Because Hernandez didn't seem to care at all for it. He didn't seem to care for Nakatani's power at all. So how is it going to come over to super bantamweight? It's an interesting question. Because he was a real big hitter at bantamweight. I mean, you do look at a similar situation in ways to David Benavidez, since he moved up to light heavyweight. Against Gostic, power didn't really show. Against Morale, started to show a bit more. Then against Anthony Yard, brutally beat him down and it fully showed. Could that be a similar thing that we're seeing with Nakatani? Does he have a fight before Casemiro? I don't think he needs to have a fight before Casemiro. I feel like he goes into this one and will be fine. But yeah, I feel like he just needs to fight a more smarter and move more game plan. But if he does stand inside with Casemiro like he did with Hernandez, it could end bad. So, when people say, Kameda run against Casemiro, he ran against him. I don't think Nakatani, he's not going to necessarily run, as people like to say. But I feel like he'll box a much smarter fight and keep his hooks more rangy, keep everything more rangy against Casemiro. But he will stand his ground. He will plant his feet. And I just feel like with Casemiro, there would be no competition in footwork. Nakatani's got that every day of the week. But if Casemiro can break him down to the body like Hernandez did, he hits much harder than Hernandez. It could be a tough night for Nakatani if he can really break him down and really tire him out. Because if you're tied against Casemiro, you're in trouble, basically. You are in trouble. So a fight with Nakatani and Casemiro, very intriguing for me.